Colorado has their Sheduer Sanders succession plan in place. We'll talk about that right on the other side of the stinger. What's up, guys? It's Austin from campus2canton.com. Before we talk about what happened today for the Colorado Buffaloes, one of my favorite topics in all of college football, why don't you hit a like on this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and head on over to Campus to Canton and see what we're doing over there. Check it out. Help us grow this college fantasy thing and kind of get it off the ground. All right, the topic we all want to talk about here, Kaidon Salter, guys, entered the transfer portal earlier this offseason, left Liberty, and is today committed to Colorado. This is going to be an interesting match. We'll see exactly how it works out. I think this is going to be a really nice match for all parties involved. Obviously, Sheduer Sanders is leaving Colorado here this offseason, and they don't really have anybody else on the roster there that you would expect to start meaningful games at a Power 4 school. And Salter, meanwhile, over the past couple of seasons as a starter at Liberty, put together a pretty decent resume. 2023 was definitely better. 2023 completed over 60% of his passes. He threw for almost 3,000 yards. He added another over 1,000 yards on the ground, almost 50 total touchdowns between the two. And Liberty made a New York Six bowl game. It was a really great year. We thought he'd build off of that. New coaching staff came in, but it was a staff that we assumed, had success with quarterbacks in the past. We thought it would be more of the same in 2024. Unfortunately for Salter, it was not. I don't know if there was an injury or something in there. I've dug. I couldn't really find anything on it, but his numbers were significantly worse pretty much across the board, at least from a raw statistical perspective. Instead of completing 61% of his passes, he was down closer to 56%, under 2,000 total passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he cut that rushing yardage almost in half, 579 rushing yards this season. So which Kaidon Salter do I think Colorado's getting? Probably not the one from 2023. That year kind of looks like an outlier at this point, but I don't think they're getting the guy from 2024 either. I think we're kind of going to get something in the middle here, a guy that can be dynamic with his legs, can be explosive. And I think if you put some real weapons around him, something that he hasn't really had over the past couple of years, I think he can cook in most offenses, as long as you're not asking him to drop back and just throw it 40, 45, 50 times a game. That's not his style. But if you look at some of the underlying metrics from last year, he wasn't that dissimilar from 2024. So I'm thinking there might have been just, circumstances around him maybe weren't quite as perfect as they were in 2023. And what I mean by that, if you go to PFF, look at things like his big time throw percentage, only about a percentage point difference between the two. Same for the turnover worthy plays. He actually, 3.9% to 3.1%. I mean, very, very close there. There was a big drop in ADOT. So you got to think that the guys just weren't getting open downfield, and maybe the offense wasn't asking him to be as aggressive throwing downfield, which may be something that he's better at. The timing, the touch, the accuracy stuff underneath, maybe not quite his calling card. But the other big number that I did want to highlight, that pressure to sack ratio, has been a big deal over the past couple of off seasons when we're talking draft prospects. 2023, 7.5% of the time where he was pressured, it resulted in a sack. Now that's a really good number, and it kind of makes sense as a guy that's really mobile, can move around quite a bit, should be able to evade pressure. 2024, though, only about 22.5% of his pressures turned into sacks. So that was really a big difference, hurting the offense, taking all those sacks. And that's going to be the thing to watch for at Colorado. We know that they do not have an amazing offensive line, some promising underclassmen. We'll see if they continue to develop over the next couple of years. But I think that's really going to make or break Salter and Colorado's offense next year. I think this is perfect, not only from a stylistic standpoint in terms of just getting a guy in there that can start right away. He only has 1 year left, and Colorado of eligibility, and Colorado does bring in a high 4-star freshman in Julian Lewis, this offseason. Stole him from USC, however you want to describe it. They got him from USC late in the cycle. Probably not a guy that was ready to start day one. So you bring in Salter, have him start for a year. It seems like the plan is very clear here in terms of what they want to do at quarterback. Beef up the wide receiver position a little bit. And I think this Colorado offense can continue to be the more productive unit on the team, and hopefully, for Colorado fans, carry them to some more big seasons. Thanks for tuning in here, guys. Again, make sure you head over to campstocanton.com. We'll see you next time.